crafty friends. Welcome to Happy Place Crafting, crafting therapy for the soul. I hope you all are doing terrific. I am doing just dandy. Today is day 25 of Dear Prompt. I had to look and see what day it was. Prompt cards plus art play equals a journal or a journal page or a card or whatever you want to make it. My name is Beth, in case you don't know, and let's get started on pick some prompts. Let's zoom in. Well, we won't zoom in yet. We'll pick them first. Okay. Today is let's do the 4. Look, we've only got a few left. Not very many left until we're done. Need to get a new one ready. Action. Element. And make. The make is always my problem. I almost thought about eliminating the make column. It's always my challenge. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, now we can zoom in. Okay. The color is porch light. Leave the light on, huh? When you see the porch light on, you better be in. That means it's dark. Okay, the action is stamping. Okay, that's not so bad. The element is gingham or plaid. Ay, ay, ay. And the make is an envelope. Okie doke. Okay. I gotta think about this. Porch light, huh? I had no clue what I want to do. No clue, no clue, no clue, no clue. Okay, let's grab... Alright, the stamping can come later. We need to figure out this gingham or plaid thing. Mick, what are you doing in here, dude? You're not supposed to be in here. Let me grab some stuff. Hold on. Better go. There's an envelope. I gotta figure out what porch light is to me. What do I think porch light is? I'm not gonna be able to use... Let's look at yellows. Because I think of like the golden shine of the porch light, right? Which makes me think of yellow. That might be interesting as a background. Ah, look. There is gingham right there. Gotta love Joey. He always comes to my rescue. Okay. Look at that. That's so pretty. Nujamar Golds. Alright, I think we can make something work with this. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can make something work. We've got kind of a... kind of a goal now. Okay. We're going to make this the background. That reminds me of a porch light, very much so. Okay. This will be our envelope, but we're going to decorate it. So we'll put some, maybe we want to do it. Maybe we want to do it this way. But I'm not going to put that on the other side of the paper. I'm just going to put it on the other side of this and glue it down. And I think we'll decorate this with the plaid. Okay. Let me find my scissors. Let's decorate first. I'm going to decorate this envelope first with some of Joey's paper. I noticed that Joey released a new digital, which means he must be back from his walkabout, his little break, which I am happy. I haven't watched his video yet. I have it pinned to watch, but I haven't watched it yet. Last night I was busy watching Die, and then and Hazel with Eddie. Hazel had Eddie on, which was really cool. Maybe I want this in the middle. That means I'm going to need another piece in the back or around it. Oh, I forgot about this one. Let's see, let's see. I was working this morning. I wanted to send some happy mail out to some friends, and yesterday Carmen had this excellent idea on how to use Project Life cards, and in doing so, I'm trying to think how I want to do this. She was using them and making like pockets out of them, and I was thinking this morning those pockets would be lovely to fill for happy mail, because you know I like to send cards and I like to send a little something in it. Now I can't send a lot in it because then it becomes a package, right, and not a card anymore. And I think a lot of us feel that way. We want to send a little something, include a little something, but we don't want it to be so thick that then it's not considered a card anymore, or you know, we have to pay a lot of extra postage, you know. So I thought that would be really nice to just be able to you know, stick a few little things in there, and then they have a pocket that they can use as well, and that way they get a little surprise, a little nice happy mail in with their card. Nice little treat, and I think that's nice. Lots of times when I receive happy mail, like from I received a card from Norma, and it had a, you know, just a few little pieces in it that were, you know, like inspirational, and I thought that was really quite fun, and it was touching to me, and I was, you know, happy that she thought of me. And I don't like it when people send too much stuff, because then, you know, you feel like you've got to do the same back. And I can't always afford to do that. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm on a fixed income. I know a lot of people I know are on fixed incomes, and some are not, and that's fine. And I know that when people send stuff, they don't expect to get stuff back, blah, 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 you know, but that's not how I was raised. You know, if somebody does for you, you do for them. Oh my gosh, I just bumped the thing. I got to keep an eye on this for real, because I am so tired of having to do voiceovers. I am really tired of it. It's not my thing. I don't like doing it. I hate doing it. And and it takes forever to re-upload the video then. So then the video doesn't get released until like late in the afternoon. So I would rather just keep an eye on it. I'm going to try to get a new type of recording, like microphone device, and hope that that helps. Okay, let's see. We want this to be, we're gonna cut this right there. I suppose we could have used washi tape too, but too late. I never think about doing that. Okay, that's perfect. Very cute. We're using the gingham, so that's a good thing, or the plaid, gingham or plaid. So that's a good thing. Yellow, nice and bright. And let's stick that right there. Okay, and this was just out of a, see, this isn't even exactly square, but that's okay, because we're not looking to be perfect here. So we don't have to do this flap because it's going to get folded under. But we do need to do something with this here. Maybe the inside as well. Maybe we slide that inside. Kind of like that. Let's just do that. Slide it in. Now that we've got glue on it, it's not going to be as easy to slide in, of course, but I watched Hazel this morning. She was, she had a bunch of doilies and sheets and just not, well, no, not sheets, but just a bunch of fabric textiles that she had washed and ironed, and was showing that she had gotten in a what do I want to say? The words are hard some days. That she had gotten in a you know, when she was thrifting. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. Oh my gosh, are we gonna be able to do this? Yes, I think we can. Huh, that was a pretty good guess. That was a pretty good guess. Do that. Okay. Anyway, she had some really cool stuff. Some of the stuff she said she talks about a drop sale. I think that's like when they do it on the internet and or on YouTube, and then they send the stuff out. But I'm pretty sure she's in Canada, and I don't think she does the United States, so it's kind of like a wash for me. Should we use this one? That kind of goes all right. Let's just do that. Wait, is this one longer? No, it's not. It's not longer. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, this might be a little awkward because I think it's not straight. So let's see what we're going to do here. Well, we're going to leave that. Let's just do that. I'm not going to get as lucky this time. I know I'm not. Let's just extend the line so we can line it up, because that makes the most sense instead of guessing, because we got lucky last time, but the odds of us getting lucky again are not very good. Okay. All right. I'd rather just know. Okay. Perfect. Let's get that line off. All right. And yeah, that worked out pretty well. And then we just got to put something across the bottom. And we can do that. Ta-da! Today is Thursday already. This week has gone fast. I feel like. What do you guys think? Do you think the week's gone fast, or do you think it's gone slow? I kind of feel like, oh wait, maybe we'll use this to tie in the front with this. I don't know that I love that. I wish this was straight. Maybe we there's gotta be a way we can throw this off a bit. If we did that and then did a square. You wouldn't notice as much. Let's try that. Okay. Or should we put the square at this end? Let's put the square at this end. All right, how big is this? 2 1/4. 2 1/4. Is that? Yikes. Oh, that was 2 1/4 right there. I had it marked. Okay. I leave that piece of tape there because I use it sometimes. If I'm mass making something, I'll use it. I know some of you are probably thinking it would be easier just to make an envelope than to do all this, but then we wouldn't be using something that we normally would have thrown away. So, there's that. Okay. All right, we're going to get rid of that. And I'm going to get rid of that. See, no measuring required. It is still raining here. I feel bad for places that don't have rain because we've had so much rain, we're tired of the rain. But It is what it is. Okay, we're gonna glue this. Ooh, that's kind of crooked. That's way crooked, but oh well. Okay, we're gonna glue this on here before we glue that down. So let's do that. Okay. Got it, got it. Okay, that's good. And now we can glue the whole thing down. Now we can put glue all over here and glue this down and glue it down. Just like this. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. You can even still see the lines behind here. See this? Can you see them? Let's see. Can you see the lines behind the paper? Because it's just copy paper, so that's actually kind of a cool little thing. All right, let's see what we're gonna do now. So we did the gingham. That's the gingham or plaid. We did the envelope, so those two are done. Porch light color, we did that. That's definitely a porch light shiny color. Stamping is the last thing that we need to do. So we need to figure out what we want to do with that. We need to create a card to go in here, but this is also still kind of plain. I love this, but we need some flowers. No, I don't think the flowers are in here. Those are hearts. Nope. Let's see what we got. Ooh, we got flowers there. And there. Not flowers, not flowers. Not those. Not those. Those are the apples. Oh, that's a big flower. These are actually really cool. Maybe we'll use one of these. Oh, we've got those two. I should have scooted this up a little bit. I kind of like that one. I love these two though. But I don't think I want to use this. I think I want to use this one. We need to stamp. We need to stamp it. Let's see. Okay, that would be fine for that. Is this thick enough? It's definitely long enough. Do that. Okay. Let's stamp. All right. I'm gonna move that out of the way for a minute. All right. I'm gonna do that first. Is that on the stamp? No, that's on that. I don't know how that got on there. Okay. Well, first of all, we need to straighten this up. Dumps. Have you guys seen on Instagram that it's like a kit that you can buy for your kids? It's like a sciencey thing. But anyways, it's got like a handle, and you put the stamp on, and it's got a handle, and it like stamps it for you. It's kind of cool, but it's a kit for kids, so it's kind of expensive. But I'm like, man, you should sell those. Ooh, that is so pretty. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. Okay, let's stamp this now. Oops. Get away from there. I still have not gel printed. There just is not enough time in a day. I get to doing other things, and I've been trying to, I try to stay ahead on my digitals. So I try to, like I have October's done, but I'm trying to get the rest of the year's done so that I don't have to worry about them. But like doing 3 kits a month, that's October, November, December. That's 9 kits that I've got to come up with. And I know it's something that I do to myself, but I just want to make sure people are getting their donations worth, you know what I mean? Even if it's just $1, I feel like I've made an obligation to give them 3 kits, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay. This, we're only going to need to be like up to that. So let's just do this part. Okay. We're just gonna do that right there. sorry. When I'm concentrating, I forget to talk. I forget to breathe. Okay. There we go. That's good. All right. I think that'll work. Those. Do we want to do... Let's see. Do we want to do the card that goes inside the same way? I'm thinking. Do we want it to have the same... We could. That way it's like matchy-matchy, right? Let's find a card. It's gonna be the right size. That'll work. That'll work. Okay. Let's ink this up again. That way it's kind of like a set. Alright. When I do the lid, here it is. And let's just put it right there. Ta-da, ta-da. Lovely. Oh. Smudge that. It's all right. No worries. No worries. Okay. Let's kind of get the ink off of that. All right. And we'll put this away. Ta-da, ta-da. All right. Flowers. Stick that up there. Okay. You know, when you don't have a ton of room on your desk, you gotta kind of keep your desk cleaned up a little bit, or you're not gonna have enough room to do what you need to do. Okay. So now we've got 3 things. Should we color them is the next thing. I kind of want a fussy cut around them. I do feel like they need colored. I do feel like they do need colored. How much time we got? 34 minutes. Okay. Do we want to color them? Let's color them with let's just do them with colored pencils so they're kind of soft. Let's grab our colored pencils here. And I never know which end is the right end. One of these, oh, I think it's this one. Look at this. This is so cool. Can you see this? Wait, let's zoom up. Move that. Okay. Look at this pencil. Can you see that it's variegated? My daughter, she had bought some for herself, and she gave me one so I could have it. But look, it turns different colors as you color. Isn't it cool? It's all in one pencil. Isn't that neat? I think it's so cool. It's so cool. I love it. Let's do all the daffodils in that color. Or the daylilies. These might be daylilies, actually. They kind of look like daylilies. Which they're usually orange, I think. Or yellow, maybe. I think my daylilies are orange. That I have. Let's do this one. Oh, look, it's got... Let's turn it. It depends what side you use, what color it comes out. It's kind of cool. Because I had kind of a green. Now I've got the more red orangey side. That's so cool. So cool. Like here's yellowish. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. I love to color. Do you like to color? I do. I love to color. Yellow. We're gonna definitely need our pencil sharpener. There we go. Daisy. Do a yellow daisy. Whoops. I know you probably didn't anticipate watching me color this morning. I will try to make it as quickly as possible, and let's see, what can we think? What can we talk about while I'm doing this so that you're not quite so bored from watching me color? Some people like to watch people color, some people do not. Let's talk about comparing yourself to other people. Is that something that you do? I know I do that. Even though I try really hard not to, I do it. And even though I'm not really concerned about, like, how many subscribers or whatever I have, you still tend to, every once in a while, look at your numbers, right? And you look at other channels and you're like, well, because it's almost like a popularity contest, right? In a way, it kind of is. I mean, it's like no different than Dancing with the Stars and how many votes one person gets, over another. And it's kind of a hard pill to swallow sometimes because it has you second guessing yourself. Like, at least in my experience, and this is, just going strictly from my experience and my thoughts on the thing, and my thoughts may not necessarily be correct, so, take it with a grain of salt, whatever. But it is my experience that, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. See, I squirrel, and then I lose my train of thought, and then I had a perfectly good point, and now I've totally lost it. But comparing yourself to others, it is like, it's a slippery slope, right? You see, oh, well, we started out about the same time, but so-and-so has a certain amount of numbers, and I have a certain amount of numbers. Or, like, I put out a video every single day, and they only put out a video, like, once a month. Why do they have so many numbers? Those kind of things start to go through your mind a bit, like, and it gets you second guessing yourself. Like, am I doing something wrong? Do people not really like me? Those kind of thoughts start to creep in a bit, and you start to go down that rabbit hole, which is not a good rabbit hole to go down, by the way. That whole self-doubt thing. I've always said to people, you can say whatever you want to me, because it's nothing that I haven't probably said to myself, and worse. Because, like, the little voice inside my head is not usually very kind to me. Like, you know, I, beat myself up more than anybody could possibly do. So, um, and that's a problem I have. And I'm working on it. And, but at least I'm aware of it, you know. I don't want all these to be the same color, because I'm pretty sure these are not roses, they're begonias. These, because they just don't open up like a rose, right? So maybe we are going to make them this color instead, because this seems to me it's more of a begonia color. I don't know. I don't really know my flowers very well, so I'm kind of guessing at this. I kind of know some I'm like, no, I don't really know. So, but how do you feel about it? Do you beat yourself up? Do the voices inside your head, are they kind, or are they, and do you compare yourself to other channels? And, and if so, how do you, keep moving forward with the comparison, with beating yourself up and knowing that, maybe people like somebody more than they like you, or, how do you deal with that? Because I think it's something that we all kind of struggle with a bit. And, but then again, there's probably people who really don't care. I try not to care, but it's hard not to care, right? It's hard. And then there's that, like, fine line, because, like, you want to help other people, and, if you figure out a secret to something, you want to let them know. But in the same regard, are you kind of, like, biting yourself in the foot if you let them know? Because then, that's not going to give you any advantage, right? If you figure something out and then you give that thing to everybody, then you've lost your advantage. But yeah, I don't know what the right answer is to any of this, to be honest. I'm still trying to figure it all out. I really try very hard not to look at the numbers, and I have to constantly remind myself that this isn't a job for me. This is a hobby. It's something that I just enjoy doing, and I'm not making any money off of it. And yeah, I mean, like, if this was a business, I would be bankrupt by now. Because they would be like, no, you're losing money, you're not making money, this is ridiculous, lady. So I have to just keep reminding myself that this is a hobby, and it's just something that I do for my mental health, and that I shouldn't care about what other people think. And but that's easier said than done, right? Because it hurts your feelings a little bit when you're not liked as much as other people are, or that's why I try really hard to, like, make sure I acknowledge everyone, because I feel like I think it hurts people's feelings sometimes if you don't acknowledge them. Because I know, like, if I go into a chat sometimes and I feel like people are ignoring the fact that I'm there, I'm more likely to leave. If you can't even acknowledge. That's why I try so hard to say hello to everybody, even when I'm in chat. I try really hard, as long as, like, I'm in it and paying attention, to say hello to everybody, because I want to make sure that even if it's not my chat, that that everybody feels like they're welcome and acknowledged, right? I think that's really, really important. um, to make sure that they're, you know, they feel seen. People feel seen. People need to feel seen, right? I think that that's like an important thing, is that people feel seen. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to just lightly color it and hope that that works. I don't know which one of these. This is blue. So let me know in the comments how you feel about that. Like, do you, what are we going to do with that? Let's just make it this color. We could make it pink. You know, how do you feel when you go into a chat and you're not really, nobody really acknowledges you, or people, you know, maybe some people acknowledge you, but others that you feel like are your friends or whatever, they don't acknowledge who you are. How does that, you know, do you feel some kind of way about that? And, you know, or do you not care? Does it not affect you? Can you rationalize it and realize that, you know, maybe they just didn't see you, or, you know, maybe they weren't paying attention to the chat the way, sometimes the chats move very fast. And I have to say that I haven't been in a group yet, though, that I felt like, even as a newcomer, and I've walked into a lot of groups, you know, well, not walked, but plopped myself into a lot of groups that, you know, I didn't really know anybody. And I really haven't had the experience that anybody hasn't been, you know, welcoming. But I know that some people do complain about that, so that's why I'm interested in people's thoughts on it. And, you know, there's a lot of times, like I said before, that I pop into a chat, I say hello, and then, you know, I really got to be doing other things. I got to be making dinner, or I got to be doing laundry, or, you know, I got to be working on my own work. And, like, I'm paying attention, I'm listening, but I'm probably not catching everybody that's coming into the group, or, you know, I might be agoraphobic and stay home, but that doesn't mean that I don't still have responsibilities, you know, because I for sure do. I still have a house to take care of, and I still have bills to pay, and people to feed, and, you know, and I still have a teenager at home, so, and a college student, matter of fact, so, you know, so there's that as well. So I am, you know, fairly busy on a daily basis. This is actually taking a lot longer to do than, and I'm not really doing it justice. This is just like a, like if I was coloring with my granddaughter, kind of coloring in, or one of my grandsons. That's how I kind of feel about this. You know, I saw somebody's book the other day. This reminds me that they made, and I can't remember who it was, but it was made for their grandchild, and it was like interactive. It was totally different, and I just loved it. And I want to make some books like that for my grandkids that I have now, and maybe grandkids in the future. Yeah, I want them to be able to have those. Do we have a different color orange? Is this the same color? No, it's not. This is a darker orange. Oops. That definitely is a monarch butterfly. Okay, that one's done. I'm just trying to hurry it up through here. What did I do with the yellow? I know I sharpened a yellow, and then I did something with it. Okay. Oh, I already used that. Let's make these pink. Pink begonias. Pink, pink, pink. Pink, pink, pink. But yeah, it's interesting to me. I like to see, and I like to hear other people's thoughts on things, because I know that my thoughts aren't always correct. You know, I've got issues for real. I have trust issues. I got all kinds of issues. I got more issues than people, you know, than most. So, you know, I kind of like to try to bounce things off of other people, and so that I can gauge my craziness, you know what I mean? Like, am I crazy? Or do you think this too? So, I don't know. And do you compare yourself to other creators? Do you try not to? Do you care? Do you not care? You know, I'm interested in knowing what you think. You know, I try very hard just to be, you know, just who I am, and not to worry about the nonsense, but it is hard sometimes. My biggest thing is really, I worry that, like, this is my brain, this is how I think. If I come into your chat and, you know, you used to be real friendly to me and then you kind of ignore me, I wonder, this is where my brain automatically goes. Did I do something? What did I do to make this person upset? And, you know, why don't they like me anymore? You know, that kind of thing. This is where my head goes. It's so horrible. You're so lucky you're not me. But that's, like, I automatically start blaming myself. Now, it's probably 9 out of 10 times nothing. You know, like, maybe they've just, you know, are busy or doing something else, or maybe their, you know, interests have changed or whatever. But, you know, I automatically go to blaming myself, which is so ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Wait, is this blue? Yeah, it is blue. But yeah, that's where my dumb mind goes. Beating myself up, blaming myself. This is what I do. So, and then you don't want to be like, hey, did I do something to make you mad? Because then if you didn't, they're just going to, or maybe some people don't want to say that you did, you know, maybe whatever they're mad about is petty. And so they're just going to be like, oh no, everything's fine, but it's not really. Because not everybody is transparent. Sometimes you'll ask people stuff and they'll be like, oh yeah, it's fine, no worries. But then they're like complaining to somebody else, you know, like, did you know that so-and-so did whatever? And you're like, no. No, thank you. But, yeah, this is my brain. And I'm not on drugs, so this is not my brain on drugs. Well, I mean, I'm on prescription drugs, but nothing, no recreation drugs. But yeah. So there's that. Oh my gosh, I got a notice yesterday that they're raising one of my digital subscriptions. It's just like the price of everything is going up so high. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to afford anything. I just feel like You know, where I live, I don't I don't own the land, so I rent it. I rent the land, and but I own my home, and so it's kind of a curious place to be in because, you know, they can keep raising the cost of the land. And here, it doesn't matter if you sign a year's lease or whatever, they can still give you 30 days notice and raise it. And over the last year, it's raised by $120, which to some people is not a lot of money, but to me, who is on a fixed income, is a lot of money. So, you know, they're gonna eventually price me out. I'm gonna have to move on, leave, and go somewhere else, and probably sell my home, which is, you know, crazy because I thought I would probably live here forever, but it turns out that that's not probably going to be an option for me. So I'm having to rethink a lot of things, and I don't want to move anywhere where, as long as Sophie's in school, but she's only got, you know, 2.5 more years and then she's done. So I'm thinking when she is out of school, I'm probably going to be relocating a bit, because they're pricing me out. I mean, the land cost has, I've lived here 10 years, it's more than doubled. And most of the cost has actually come within the last 3 or 4 years. Until then, it was pretty much the same, and then another company purchased it, and they're just pricing everybody out. They just want people out, I think. I can't imagine, because a lot of people back here, you know, their homes are newer, and I'm sure they owe money on their homes. And between that and the cost of the land monthly, I don't know how they're doing it. I mean, I just don't know. And, you know, people usually choose to live, you know, in mobile homes because it's cheaper, but they're making it so it's not. So, I mean, that was one of the reasons I did. You know, I wanted out of the city, and this was something that, you know, I could afford. And when I bought it, it was a fixer-upper, and I put a lot of work into it and a lot of money, and you know, and made it my own. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna for sure price me out, which is their goal. It's, you know, it's all about money these days with everybody. So, which stinks, but there's nothing you can really do about it. So, you know, it's their land, they have a right to do what they want, but that doesn't make it morally right. You know what I mean? But companies, you know, they don't have morals. So it's just about the bottom dollar for them. And you know, it's probably time for a change for me anyways. You know, my kids are, you know, at that point will pretty much be out of the house, and so it's probably time I moved on and downsized a little bit anyways. But it's making me reevaluate a lot of things. I'm gonna have to get rid of a lot of stuff, for sure. I mean, I'm getting older, my dog's getting older, and it's harder to take care of. You know, I've got a yard to take care of, and you know, flower beds, and you know, a lot of outside stuff that has to be dealt with. And you know, and if something breaks, you know, then I'm responsible for that as well, which is difficult when you're on a fixed income. So you know, I think it probably makes more sense to move somewhere where I don't have to, where somebody else is responsible for all that stuff. And I can just kind of do my thing and have fun. And I know that there's other things that come with that, like, you know, neighbors and things like that. But hey, look, I think we're pretty much done here with the coloring portion anyway. Finally. There we go. All right. Let's pick all these up. Not my best, but not my worst either. It does the job. And that's what we needed to do. Okay, that is going to stay whole, but this is going to, we're going to fussy cut around this. So that we got a bit of a border. Here. Okay. There's that one. And this one. I don't know what my dog's deal is. Lately, he has been coming in here and sitting in my craft room, which he never has done before. And he knows he's not really supposed to be in here. So there's that. Because I don't like his fur everywhere. Like, I have to deal with that in the rest of the house. And he sheds so bad. I mean, every time I sweep, it's like sweeping up a whole nother dog. So, see, he heard me talking about him now. He just skadoodled. I've already let him out. He's already been fed. He has water. So I don't know if he's just lonely or what his deal is. He usually sleeps. I mean, he is getting older, and so he sleeps a lot. But maybe he's not tired. I don't know. Okay. There's that. All right. Let's transition it back so we can put this together, because we have been over an hour now. People are probably like, lady, would you hurry it up? Oh, this is going to be too long. Let's cut this flower off. There we go. Now, do we want to... I wish this was up further. But this is going to be here. I don't know, I'm just falling here and just trying different things to see what I like. Maybe we... kind of feel like... I hate that I did all that work for nothing, but that's okay. I think we're going to put this here. so that when you open it up, you see it, but when it's closed, you don't see it. Okay. Oh, I know I just hit that thing again. All right, when this is closed, you shouldn't see it. No, you don't. This, but part of me wants this to be a pocket. Because you know me and pockets. I love pockets. I love me some pockets. Okay. This is going to go in here. I kind of felt like, though, maybe we put this on this side. I don't know, I just kind of felt like it needs something. Okie doke. Yes, me, I'm the girl that it takes an hour, more than an hour, to do one page. Because I'm just a slow crafter. But maybe you're a slow crafter too, and so it doesn't bother you. Okay. That's gonna go in here. Like that. That's gonna go there. We need a card to go in here. We could do something like that. Let me grab a piece to back it. That is not wide enough. I don't think that is either. I need a bigger piece. Here we go. Here we go. Sophie's got me watching Dancing with the Stars. I don't know who half the people on there are. The few people that I do, I knew Corey Feldman. He got kicked off last night. If you haven't watched, sorry about the spoiler. But, yeah. So, the few people I do know are probably going to get kicked off fairly quick. So, there's that. They're just all young people. And I don't watch the secret thing of the Mormon Wives or whatever. I don't watch that. And, a lot of TikTok people and stuff like that. I don't know who they are. So let's do that. Let's put this here. That's where I dipped it in the thing, but I don't really mind that. Okay, so there's that. This still feels a little bit boring, but maybe I have a thought. I don't know how this is gonna look though, but I have a thought. that right? Yeah. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do we like it better or is it worse? I don't know. I kind of like it. It just gives it kind of like a little pop. Do we like it? Or was it better the original way? Sometimes I go too far. But it kind of ties this in with this because they're both like daisies, kind of. So that works for me. I don't know. This isn't my favorite page I've done, but I like it just fine. It'll work. Not my favorite, but... Alrighty, let's see if we've gotten everything done. Alright, envelope. We used an envelope. We did that. Gingham or plaid. We used gingham there. Porch light. We used the yellow for the glow of the porch light. And stamping. We stamped the flowers there, and there, and on the card. So I think we took care of that. Let's put these on here. The color was porch light. The element was gingham or plaid. The make was an envelope. And the action was stamping. There we go. All right, we did it. Not my favorite, but not my least favorite either. All right. I have kept you way long enough. Too long today, I apologize. Remember, the crafting is cheaper than therapy, and we get to make really cool friends, and we get to make really cool things. And if you are participating in Dear Prompt, please make sure you use the hashtag Dear Prompt, HPC, for Happy Place Crafting. Remember to give us a thumbs up, because we appreciate you, and we like to know that you're watching and you're out there. So, and as we, I mean me. I don't know why I said we. That was kind of ridiculous. Me. I do. I appreciate knowing that you're out there. That I'm not alone here talking to myself. All right. I love y'all. Until next time. Ta-da!